Hello, good morning, ahoy there. It's Sunday, it's 6:30, it's 7 o'clock now, 7 a.m. I've slept well, feeling refreshed, feeling good again. Had a good night's sleep. I'm here this morning, I said I'd bring you here, didn't I? I think I did. We're at, where are we? Humayuns tomb. This is the park next to it, this is like the little grounds next to it. There's another little tomb just next to it here. But I think I said we'd come here. Obviously last week we went to Minar and got flung out, and it turned out that was, as those guys told us, that was because there was a visiting politician, and I could have gone back in again, but it got a bit crazy. While we were getting thrown out, a huge queue arrived, and whereas before it was really easy to just walk in there, even though I had a ticket, going back through it again, I just thought, oh, I'm not doing this, so I just went home. But there's no queue here, and I'm straight in. I'll show you it in a minute. We're in the little woods next to it at the moment, and yeah, it should be fine. I don't think there's any. The reason last week got a bit weird with the politician arriving was it was International Yoga Day, and so for some reason he wanted to go and have a look at it. I don't know, but there was no yoga happening there. That's what I didn't understand. There was no yoga going on, and I like it around here actually. I was just going to show you something while I'm mid-flow there. You've got these, it's very, very old place. It's a big tourist destination here in Delhi. That's a part of one of the tombs. So you've got Humayuns tomb, which is what we're heading up to in a moment. And I was going to say littered, but I don't think that's the right word, but dotted around it are other tombs. I don't know if they were from the same family, but Humayuns was built in 1560, and it's beautiful. There's tombs all over Delhi, and a lot of the parks have got old tombs in them, and they're all worth a look. They're all worth going to have a look around. There's very little in them, but they're as structures, they're fascinating, and they're usually like this, quite peaceful. It's just a nice park next to it. People come here to do a bit of walking, hang out, they do what I'm doing sometimes. Don't stop in that. That reminds me of that joke where the man walks into a bar with a pile of dog crap in his hand and says, look, I nearly stepped in. But it wasn't dog crap, it was a pile of old leaves. I don't want to say that this place is littered with dog crap, because it's not. In fact, it's beautifully manicured. Look at this. They really take care of it. The grounds here are lovely. It's well worth it. If you come to Delhi, it's well worth coming here just for an early morning walk. And I'm sure the sunrise over the tomb is well worth a look at. I haven't made that, I've never have made that. I think it opens at 6 a.m. and people do come here for that. I've never been here and there's not already a group of people here. So it's nice, it's just a nice place to hang out and have a little peaceful walk. I don't know if people come and pray here, I've not seen anyone doing that, but I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could if you felt like it. Anyway, I digress. When I first started doing these videos a few weeks back, one of the things I was talking about was that I'd been to the doctors, like a Tommy Cooper joke. I went to the doctor! But I did go to the doctor, which I don't agree with doing usually, but I did go to the doctor, and he told me that I had high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all these other things like this, bad sugars, everything was either good or bad. It was always like, it was all, yeah, pretty, the bad bits that I really didn't want to be bad were really bad. And being a man, I'd obviously put off going to the doctor for a long time, and I always used to tell, men used to say to me like, oh, I went to the doctors this morning, and I'd say, what'd you do that for? And they'd say, well, I went and I've got high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And I said, but you didn't have that before you went. And it's such a stupid way to look at it, but I always said that. So you didn't have it before you went. You know, you were perfectly fine this morning, and now look at you, you're all miserable. So I just didn't used to go to the doctors. Didn't go for years. And then, being 52, I thought, oh, bloody hell, I'll go. So I went, and yeah, he said, you've got high cholesterol, and your blood pressure's bad. And so I know we've covered all this before, but I said that, well, what's causing it? And he said smoking, drinking, got to stop them. And I said, I don't do any of those things. I never smoke, I never drink. And he said, well, it's diet and stress then. So, I mean, I'm pescatarian. I always say vegetarian, but I'm not. I'm pescatarian. And I eat pretty healthily. But he said, well, it's stress. It's stress and your diet then. So anyway, he said, I'm going to put you on statins, which I wasn't crazy about at all. And I don't want to go on them. I don't know why. I just don't want to be reliant on tablets going forward. So I refused. He disagreed with me. He said, we'll agree to disagree, and he put me on them anyway. But the agreement we had was, how about if you do this, I'll come back in a few weeks' time, and I'll stick to something that I want to do, like a diet program that I'll make up myself, and we'll see what happens. So he agreed to that, and he was quite a nice doctor. He said that we'll lower the statins every few weeks, so you can have a lower dose, and we'll see what goes on. So anyway, I did it. I went off and did my diet, and then I came back yesterday. Came back to the doctors, and it's worked. It's worked. I'm now in the normal range, so I'm not gonna lie and say, oh God, it's fantastic. It's not like in a subnormal range or where I'm like, oh God, I'm like an athlete. I'm not. I'm in the normal range. So I've still got to follow basic healthy eating and exercising principles, but I don't need statins. I don't need anything. He basically sent me off without a prescription and said, well done. But he was quite interested in what I'd done, because he said a lot of people, according to him, most people end up on statins when they go in there with that first diagnosis. And he was quite interested in how I'd done it, which I didn't think was particularly interesting, but he really was. He said he wanted to tell other patients what I'd done. So I'll tell you what I told him. He basically wanted to know my diet. So my diet is, every morning I wake up and immediately do 40 press-ups. So I do that, then I go through, and on an empty stomach I have a shot glass of apple cider vinegar with a big pinch of cinnamon in it and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I knock that down, and if it's feeling a bit tingly, I knock it back with a Yakult chaser. Then for my breakfast, I have 3 dessert spoons of Greek yogurt, and in that I put a handful of pumpkin seeds, a handful of blueberries, some flax seeds, and basically any other seeds like that I've got lying around, but they're my main ones. Then I don't eat anything till midday, at which point I have a protein bar that's homemade. And I got the recipe for it online. It's made from a vegetable protein source, and again there's seeds and nuts in there and a bit of cacao powder that I put in. Then I don't eat anything again till the evening, and I try to have basically the same things most nights, and that's basically what I've done, is eating the same things over and again. That seems to have really helped. So of an evening I might have like some quinoa, roasted beetroot and some fish. It's basically variations of that, roasted vegetables, a protein source that probably would be better if it was meat, but I'm not eating it, and some vegetables, and a fairly sensible sized portion, to be honest. I mean, I'm 6'6", and I'm quite big, so I do need a fairly decent bowl full to fill, and it works. It really does work. I might have a cup of coffee afterwards, but that's about it. And then that's at about, what am I going to say, like 6:30 of an evening I'll eat that, and then I have nothing again till the following morning. So effectively it's every day a 12-hour fast. And throughout the day I do another 2 sets of 40 press-ups. So I do one first thing in the morning, one late morning, and then one midday. I'm not telling you to do this, by the way, I'm just telling you what the doctor asked me to tell him, and I did. But it has worked. It's really worked. I feel great. I'm sleeping really well. I've lost weight. He said my liver has visibly gone down. I had inflammation around the liver, which just looks a bit like you've got a little bit of a pot belly above, just below your ribs. And it's gone. It's completely gone in. And I feel much better for it. So I recommend it. I genuinely recommend it. If you're struggling a little bit with health and weight or anything like that, I mean, I don't know if it's as difficult or as easy as I'm saying. I'm just literally telling you what I did. I had to change my mindset a bit with food. For example, actually, this shows you how the brain gets you. When I got home yesterday, I was really pleased with myself about the results. I was like, yeah, that's great, brilliant. I've stuck to something and it's worked. Good old me. I started ordering the shopping, ordering just general, my stuff. Seeds and things like that. And I was really pleased with it. I think, this is a healthy shop. And then it popped in my head. I thought, you know what you should do now is order a nice fruitcake and have that with a cup of tea to celebrate. Because it is the weekend after all. You can't be. And I stopped myself. What are you doing? You've just had some good news. So let's celebrate with a great big sugary cake. So I didn't do that. And the doctor told me that this is quite common. He said people do this all the time with diabetes. They get a good blood reading and they're like, oh great, I did that well. I think I'll celebrate with a cake. And so your diet's then helter-skeltering or roller coastering. So what I do is, and I don't know if this will work for you, but it works for me, I kind of switch, bird flying over, I switch things off in my brain. So I look at foods now, even though it almost didn't work yesterday, but I look at foods that I don't eat now as that's not me food, if you know what I mean. So in the same way that if I was walking through a supermarket and I was going through the pet food aisle or the baby food aisle, well, I don't pay any attention to it. I don't stop and look at the baby food and say, oh, that looks quite nice, quite nice ingredients in there. I'm not interested, it's not my food. And the same with the pet food. It's not my food, so I don't pay any attention to it. And I try to do that with cakes and salty goods and things like that, fried foods. They're just, oh yeah, it's there, but it's not my food. And I've got that good at it now that I can stop at a bakery and look through the window and admire some nicely made cakes. There's some peacocks over here, shall we have a look at them? I can admire some nice, I'm going to go hushed now like David Attenborough because I don't want to scare them. I'll show them to you. This camera won't twist. No, they're all running off now. That's not a peacock, that's a man. Don't know if you can see them there, they're just running off through the woods. And there's another one just over here. He's having a drink. They're quite common sights here in India. I was quite surprised. They're the national bird of India. But they are quite a common sight. You see them quite a lot. And sometimes, if you're lucky, they fan their tail out and do a dance. And it's like a little side-steppy dance they do. It's really nice. I'm not going to bother this one. I think he's just trying to walk away from me, so I'm going to stay where I am. Let him do his, he's hiding behind a bush now. We'll leave him alone. Leave him alone, he's trying to have his breakfast. I wouldn't appreciate that. But you do see quite a lot of them. So yeah, as I say, it's worked. You have to be consistent, which I really have been, which unusually for me, because I'm not consistent with things, I'm an absolute bugger for that. Taking up hobbies and dropping them. I mean, the amount of things I've bought for hobbies that I've ended up giving to charity shops because I'm just not interested in it anymore. Whereas this one, maybe because I feel the benefit of it, I don't know. I've stuck with it, and it's really, really worked. So give it a go if you need to. But that's the diet that I've stuck to, and it's really worked. The other thing I'm thinking is, it's really boggy around here. Oh dear, turning into a bit of a quicksand situation. Oh bloody! What have I gone this way for? I do this all the time. That's these shoes ruined. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking was, we're out of that now. Because of my intention to go travelling after this, I've got 6 months in the UK, as I keep saying, after this, in which I'm going to get rid of everything. And basically put everything I own will be carried in a rucksack, a bit bigger than this one. And that's it. If it doesn't fit in there, it doesn't come with me. That'll be it. That's my whole life will be in that bag. Which sometimes I think of, and it really frightens me, and I think, what are you doing? like, this is stupid, a man of your age doing that. And then other times I'm really excited about it, and I think, no, this is the thing to do. I've never really liked the way of the world. I've never really fit into it. It's got no place for me, and I don't have any for it. I've never really played the game. I don't mean that in a rock and roll rebel sort of a way, but I've never played the game. You know, I don't have kids. I haven't produced any further consumers. I don't have a credit card. I don't take loans out. The things that most people do and find important, I don't see any importance in them or value in them. And that's had a knock-on effect in that people think you're a weirdo, and they don't gel with you, which is fine. You know, it's up to them. But I don't understand them, the things that they hold dear and that excite them or push them. I honestly don't get it. I think, well, why are you doing this? I just don't understand it. So that's led to a bit of an outsider lifestyle in a way, which is fine by me. I do like solitude. I like my own company. But what I'm saying is, going off travelling like that, well, in one way it sets you up quite well for it, doesn't it? Because you're already used to plotting around on your own all the time, so no problem with that. But yeah, there are moments where the idea of it fills me with fear, and then other times where I'm really pleased about it, and I think, yeah, this is what I want. I want to be away from the world. I don't like the way it's going. I look at things on the news all the time, and very little of it pleases me. I look at it and I just think, I don't want part of this. I really don't. I don't want part of it. I don't want to pay to be part of it. I don't want to contribute to it, and I don't want to take anything from it. I just want to be left alone. I just want to walk and do my thing. So, that was the other thing I was going to say, actually, going off on a tangent. The other thing about the diet and bringing down my cholesterol, walking after your meals. So obviously I can't do it at work because I work in an office. But every evening after my evening meal, go out for a walk. And at a minimum of 30 minutes at a fairly brisk pace, and that'll help you. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the travelling. So yeah, that's the plan, is that it all goes into one rucksack, and that's me done, living, as I put it, like the cowboy life, or a pirate life, or whatever you want to call it, to make it sound a bit sexy and adventurous. But on the one hand, as I say, I look at the things that I own, that I've acquired throughout my life, and of course they mean something to me because I bought them years ago when I was younger, and a lot of them are attached to memories. So they're not particularly valuable, but they're all attached to valuable memories, and I'm not going to put them in storage. I've heard of other people doing that, and then a few years later they just say, well, that was just a waste of money. I've put all these things in storage and never thought of them again. So I'm just going to give them all away. Maybe sell some of them if they're worth anything. I don't know if they will be, I doubt it. But I'm going to just get rid of it all and go. And on the good moments of it, I think it's a great thing to do. I think this, as they call it, the death cleanse, the Swedish death cleanse, and I really like the sound of it. I've seen it. I've seen the real life version of it where people have died and all their stuff just gets binned, and it's heartbreaking. So I think, well, I'll save, not that there's anyone to mourn me, but I'd save the bother of doing that by just doing it myself and just get rid of it. I'd take ownership of it then and say, right, well, these items are someone else is enjoying. In fact, I did it a few weeks ago. I gave a load of books to someone that's much younger than me and has just got into the sort of things that I used to read. And I thought, well, rather than just have these on a shelf saying, well, these are mine and I've read them and I'm keeping them, the enjoyment I had can be passed on. And she loved them. She seemed to be delighted with them. So I felt quite good about that. So there's that to it. And I'm quite looking forward to that, giving it away to, I'm hoping, to people that, you know, need stuff. Maybe young couples that need a bit of a start in life. So I'm going to do that. I think the wanting for nothing keeps popping in my head. Like it's a great thing to aspire to want for nothing. Oh, I've got everything I need, I want for nothing. But there's two sort of ways of looking at that, isn't there? There's, I want for nothing because I've got everything I need, and I want for nothing because I don't want anything. I literally, and that's kind of where I am now. I don't want anything. I look at things And I think I've got enough clothes probably to last me the rest of my life. I've got enough books to... I've got everything. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. What's the point in it? So I'm getting rid of it, going to get shot of it all and go off on the road with my backpack. And I'll take you with me. We'll have a look around. But here's a bit of one of the tombs here. So as you can see, they're old ancient tombs. A lot of stuff here reminds me of things you'd see in a film, like old film sets. And I'm surprised that I know they've got the Bollywood industry here, which is absolutely massive. And I've been watching a few Bollywood films in the gym recently. The man who runs it likes putting them on, and they're actually quite good. But I'm surprised there's not more Western films shot here, particularly sci-fi films. If you were to shoot a dystopian sci-fi film like Judge Dredd, there's bits of Delhi that really remind me of how I would imagine Mega City 1 to look. It's a fascinating place. The architecture here is kind of, if you can imagine it, they'll let you build it. That's how it seems to me anyway. There's buildings up that you think, oh, okay, you were just allowed to do that, were you? And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, in the UK, you just know they're so... I get the feeling anyway, I don't know anything about it. I get the feeling there's a lot more rules in the UK for putting buildings up. Whereas here, it seems more, if it looks nice and you can afford it, crack on. Have a crack. And I like that. Now how do I... Oh shit. I'm supposed to have no shoes on here. Well, I'm going to run out of this bit because I don't want to offend anybody. That was a bit of the tomb that you're not allowed on with with shoes on. I didn't realise because I went round through the back and just saw the sign. Having said that, I do see a lot of things here where people really have flown fast and loose with the rules. Things like, you know, you'll see someone taking a photograph of themselves literally next to a sign that says no photography here, or lighting a cig next to something that says no smoking. So I probably won't get into too much. It's weird here though. It's either no rules whatsoever where you think, yeah, that shouldn't be allowed, or really ridiculously strict to the point that you think, why are you being this militant about it? But I've seen things there that you cannot believe, where you think, well, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. Like a guy with a load of bottle rockets out of a pipe with his car window driving down the road. And you're like, why is he doing that? And some celebration. So here's Humayuns' tomb itself. I'll show you the entrance to it. It's very noisy here again with the birds and the wildlife. And you'll see the tomb and it will look very familiar to you because it's a fantastically iconic piece of architecture that, as you can see, has clearly inspired another very well-known monument. And it's inspired quite a few that look like it, but obviously the most famous one being the Taj Mahal. Now, if you were to go to the Taj Mahal, the experience is altogether different to coming here. This is better, in my opinion. I've been here quite a few times. I've been to the Taj, I think just once went to the Taj. And yeah, it's great, it's the Taj Mahal. You can't go around moaning about it. Although I did say bits of it need a bit of work. I told them they could do a bit of scaffolding up on it, and a few Irishmen in here could really put it on the map, and they didn't take kindly to that. I was only joking. But then now it's got scaffolding all around it, so maybe they listened to me. I don't think they did. And I've told other Indian people that I said that, and they said you really shouldn't have said that. It was a joke. But yeah, here's a bit more of Humayuns' tomb here. Now I've come here a few times. This is where I came once last year during the monsoon, where it just suddenly started raining. Monsoon's still not here, by the way. It just suddenly started tipping it down. And it was like something from a film. Because the monsoon had been long awaited, everyone started dancing. They all came out onto this thing up here, this balcony area, and they were all dancing around, and they were loving life, just having the greatest time. And it's one of the most heartwarming things I've ever seen. And these people just coming out dancing around, and they won't let you not dance. You have to dance with them, and I'm not very good at dancing, but you get in with the moment. But yeah, I do prefer this to the Taj. The Taj obviously is covered in the white marble, so you get that striking effect in the morning when the sun hits it. And it's supposed that they told me it changes colour. They say it goes from a pink to a gold. It didn't the day I was there. It was white in the sunrise and white as the sunset. And it's not the most relaxing of places to go. There's always something going on. Like whenever you see, look at this. Oh, just missed it. That dude was balancing on his back. Indian guys like going to the park and doing just some weird acrobatics, and they'll start like, there was some the other day like linking each other's arms and tumbling around the park while one of them filmed it, and they were just laughing and laughing at it. I'm jealous, to be honest with you. I see them doing these things and I think, I can't even get someone to go to the cinema with me. These guys phone their mates, they're going down the park and doing some weird acrobatics, and they're like, yeah, I'll do that, I've got nothing on there. I find myself going to see He-Man on my own. Serves me right for being such a grumpy git. So here's this another side of the... So it's an incredible place to come. If you come to Delhi, get up early and come down to Humayuns' tomb. You'll get a load of steps in. It's really chilled out. I personally prefer it to go into Agra. Agra, where the Taj is a bit much for me. The people there are different. They're a bit aggressively friendly, I think is the best way to put it. Whereas here they're a bit pushy with selling things, there they take it to a new level. It's like they'll forcibly grab you by the arm and pull you into their shop. Whereas here in Delhi, they'll just keep saying, do you want to look at this, do you want to look at this? But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing to go and have a look at. So this will take us up into the tomb. Well, yeah, you can't really go to India and not go to the Taj. I would certainly recommend doing it. But if you can go there for one day and get out again, I'd probably say to do that. Whereas here, because it's in Delhi, you can spend a few days. You could do this as part of a trip. Obviously combine it with a trip to Agra, because you can drive there from here and it's not too bad a journey. You can drive there in a few hours and get back again. You can do here, Taj, back again, spend the rest of the day in Delhi, and you could even possibly fit in Qutb Minar where we were last week. Wouldn't recommend it, a bit too much of a squeeze. But I would definitely come here if you want just a peaceful, nice chilled out park. I mean, as I say, some of the grounds here they really take it seriously. On the parts where the parks that they look after, they really do. I remember I came on a guided walk here once, and it was a lot more interesting than I thought it would be, which sounds a bit arrogant. But I just thought, oh, what are they going to tell us about this? And it was really good. It was, in fact, if you come to India, go on guided walks. They are really good. They do them really well. The people that do them are genuinely investedly interested in what they're doing. They're usually really sweet. It's usually quite cheap as well. But it's well worth doing. And definitely come to Humayuns' tomb. I like it here. I like it. It's just a nice place to hang about, really. I'll probably be here for an hour or so after I finish filming this today, and then head back again. I don't know if you can hear that sound in the background. Like, it sounds like a Wild West train on its way in. I think it's a power station that makes that noise, like a siren. Every time I've ever come here, you can hear it. So, in summary, Walking's good. Keeping your cholesterol down is good. That seems to be helping. I'm feeling good on it. Keeping the exercise up is good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's going well. So I hope that's inspired you. I don't know if that does inspire anybody, but I hope that some diet tips there, because honestly I was in need of a change of diet, let's put it that way. I got quite big, wasn't feeling great, I was getting chest pains. That's all gone. The chest pain's all completely gone now. I think a lot of that is mental though. I think a lot of that is taking on breathing exercises and things like that to push stress away, which has really helped. Really. Oh, actually, a little tip. Someone told me recently, if you're having like an anxiety or a chest tightening feeling, I already did this box breathing where you breathe in for 4 through your nose, hold for 4, and then out for 4. Do that I can't remember how many times now. Is it 12 times? But it does bring down the cortisol. But the one someone told me yesterday was take your hand and bang it on your chest if you're feeling a bit nervous, and they said do it no less than 20 times and no more than 30 times, so I guess 25 times, and it brings it down. And I did it at my desk the other day because I was starting to feel a little bit like, oh Christ, this isn't going to work, this isn't happening, and I did start to feel a little bit anxious, and I did it, but I don't know if it's just putting your mind on something else, but it went away. So yeah, health wise, all really good. So give it a crack. And certainly, if you haven't started walking, please give it a go. Find somewhere you like, find somewhere you feel comfortable doing it, and start giving yourself, just, you start out 10-15 minute walks. Get yourself some comfy shoes, which I made the mistake of not doing yesterday. So I thought I'd go for a walk yesterday and break in a new pair of shoes. And oh man, it's rubbed all the skin off the one. I've got really bad skin on my face, like cat skin. So walking's possibly not the best idea for me, but I like doing it, so I do it anyway. But I have to be really careful with the shoes. And yeah, these ones yesterday were buggers. So please give walking a go, but get right footwear for it if you've got feet like mine. And just, yeah, as I said last week, give yourself a chance, give yourself a good go. You deserve all the best, you really do. Give yourself the best chance, even if the world's not being that kind to you, you be kind to you. And until next week, I don't know where we'll go next week. I think I haven't made my mind up yet. Maybe just back to the park. Doesn't really matter where we go, does it? We'll have a walk around next week. Thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure. And until next week, walk tall.